Hello everyone, and welcome our Hallmark channel. Tonight on the Hallmark Chanel The Chicken Sisters airs with an all-new Sunday, May 18th, 2025, Season 1, Episode 8 episode finale, and we have here the Chicken Sisters recap below. On tonight's Chicken Sisters Season 1 Episode 8 called, "It's Just Junk, Y'all," as per the Hallmark channel synopsis, a final twist in the reality competition throws both the Mimi's and Franny's crews for a loop, and Frank Jr.'s true colors are revealed. Stars Skylar Fisk, Genevieve Angelson, Leah Thompson, and Wendy Malick. So make sure to bookmark this spot and come back between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the Chicken Sisters recap. While you wait for the recap, make sure to check out all our The Chicken Sisters news, spoilers, recaps, and more right here. Tonight's The Chicken Sisters recap begins now. Refresh page often to get the most current updates. In tonight's The Chicken Sisters finale episode, Gus did what she should have done a long time ago. She put her daughters first. They grew up in a home falling apart and surrounded by her junk. They both left in albeit different ways. One would think that was enough to get Gus to clean up her home. She chose instead to use the extra space to get more junk. She was living on chaos until she saw for herself how much she hurt her children. They didn't believe she loved them or that she would ever choose them over her junk. Words weren't going to be enough anymore. Gus had to show them through action. She burned down her house with everything inside. Her girls knew then that Gus loved them. They didn't know how fragile their mother was. Gus has been hiding her condition and she couldn't do so any longer. She passed out. She was taken to the hospital. Her daughters spoke to her doctor. Gus has MS. It's an autoimmune disease. It results in the body attacking itself, and so she was in constant pain. She's been doing acupuncture to help with the pain. It wasn't enough. She was going to need a wheelchair if she wanted to leave the hospital. She was also going to need a place to stay. With her home gone, Gus checked into the hotel. Her friends were willing to let her stay there. It was Gus that hated her newfound situation. She was a proud woman. She hated the wheelchair. She hated accepting help. She also realized that she needed to stop bottling everything. Well, everything besides her negative emotions. She told May she was proud of her. She was willing to joke around with Nancy. The two women were brought together by their shared granddaughter. Frankie found a hidden note in Mimi's Bible. The whole town was divided because of this long-simmering hatred between the families. The original Franny and Mimi were best friends. They came up with the restaurant idea together. They were willing to work side by side for the rest of their days. Until Mimi got pregnant. Franny's husband claimed the baby was his. He knew it would end their friendship as well. The truth was that Mimi's child was fathered by a stranger passing through town. She was forced to give up her child back then because she couldn't afford to keep the baby. Mimi was unwed. She didn't have help. She spent years in anger. Franny's husband later wrote her a letter. Sherman felt remorse about his actions, and he sent Mimi some money. It was enough for her to open her own restaurant. Mimi's. He made up that lie about her because he stole the original business with his wife. They turned it into Franny's. Both restaurants have been in competition for over 100 years because of that man. Franny was considered respectable. Mimi was considered slutty trash. It was because of this misconception that the Mimi girls have struggled for years. Franny's descendants also did everything they could to tear them down. The letter showed it was all for nothing. If Franny had stuck by her friend all those years ago, everyone would have been much happier. Frank Jr. wouldn't have proven to be such a villain. It was one thing to put down his wife and his mother. He did that because he was lazy. He was trying to prove himself to be like his dad. It was when he lied about making that call to the health inspector that all hope was lost. Frank Jr. went full villain tonight when he made up with Amanda. He convinced her that he never called the health inspector on her mother. He lied about that, and he also lied about how happy they were. He couldn't wait for things to go back to the way they were. With Mimi's in the dust. Franny's being the best in town. Frank Jr. only wanted his wife back to win the competition. They were still doing the show. It was the final episode of Kitchen Clash. Frank Jr. also and very purposefully did his best to drive a wedge between Amanda and her family. He told her for years that her family didn't love her like he did. It was another lie of his. Only that one went too far. It showed that there was no hope for him or their marriage. Amanda saw that for herself at Kitchen Clash. Her husband instigated a punch thrown by Sergio. He timed it right so that Sergio would hit a fridge door. Sergio broke his hand. May was left by herself cooking. She hasn't done that in years, and Gus did her best to help from the sidelines. She was still in the wheelchair, remember? Amanda saw who her true family was right then. She finally left Frank Jr. She told Nancy that she only stayed because she liked being Nancy's daughter, and Nancy said she'd always be her daughter. Together, they left Frank Jr. to do it all himself. They left Franny's team to join Mimi's team. Nancy and Amanda have been cooking for years. They helped May. They made the superior chicken. Their plate looked better, smelled better, and tasted better than Frank Jr.'s. The judge tonight was Mr. Chicken. He owns Mr. Chicken's Cluckery. Mr. Chicken also upset everyone by naming Frank Jr. as the winner. No one bought it. Sabrina sure didn't. She snapped. She called him out in front of everyone. She was warned by her boss that Mr. Chicken was their biggest donor, and she didn't care. She said the competition was fixed. She quit on camera.